Hey guys! For art this week, we are going to make salt dough ornaments. So an ornament is something that you can hang in your window, you can hang it on your wall. I thought these would be really cool to make for our peace tree next year. We can do all of the different symbols of all the religions of the world to hang on our tree. So what it is, it's a little bit like Play-Doh, but you're going to put it in the oven and bake it so that you can keep it forever. You can paint them and they look really, really pretty. So I'm sure you could use this recipe to use as Play-Doh to make little sculptures if you wanted to do that, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it for making an ornament, which I'll put a string on it so that I can hang. Okay, so to make this, you only need a few ingredients. You need salt, you need flour, and then you need water as well. So the ratios are 2 cups of flour. So I have 2 cups of flour in here. And then you need 1 cup of salt. I'll pour that in there and mix it up. And then it says 3/4 to 1 cup of water. So you're just gonna kind of have to pour the water in and stir to see how it goes. So once I finish this dough, let's see. So I poured in a cup of water. You might need an adult to help you if this is a little messy. Okay, so I'm stirring it up and stirring it up. Sorry you guys can't see this. Stir, stir, stir. You're kind of like, it's like making bread, right? Just flour and salt. And bread's got some more ingredients in it, but similar idea. And it's kind of starting to mix. You might now need to knead it with your hands to squish it together. I think I'm going to need a little bit more water. All right, so I'm just going to pour a little bit more water in and keep mixing it together. So this recipe is easy there. If you make a mistake, it's easy to fix. If it's too runny, you just add more flour. If it's too dry, you just add more water. You just keep going until you get a mixture that works for you. So let's see if this works. So I've got it in a ball. It's a pretty good consistency, but I'm going to keep on kneading it because it's a little bit sticky. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my flour. I'm going to put some flour on the table and that'll help it from stop sticking, and it'll help kind of add some more flour to the mixture so it's not so runny. So I'm just going to spread that out and then knead it just like you were making bread. And then I have this. It's a pretty great, I think we can work with this now. So this is the dough. That's as easy as it is. That's all you have to do. So now what I need to do is I have a couple more ingredients to actually make the ornaments. You need a baking pan. So I have this one, it's non-stick, so you don't have to put anything on it. They won't stick to it. I have a rolling pin to make the dough flat. Everyone should probably have one of these in their kitchen. Ask Mommy, I'm sure she has one. And then to make the ornaments, I have different cookie cutters. So there's a flower, there's a star, I have a couple different hearts. If you don't have a cookie cutter, that's fine. You can use a knife to cut out the shape that you want, or you can just draw a flat circle. It doesn't matter. You guys don't have to have any of these fancy things. I also have some stamps. Miss Herman bought these really cool stamps when I lived in India, and I've never been able to use them. So I'm going to use them for this. And we're going to see what it's looks like to actually stamp it, because look, I did a quick stamp, and it actually shows up on the dough. So I'm going to use those, but you don't need to have any of these fancy things. If you just have you can just play with it, flatten it out. You can use your fingerprints, you can use a fork to do different kinds of designs on it. You can do anything that will make it look pretty, or however you like to do it, okay? So the next thing you need to do, just move these out of the way. I also have, one last thing. I also have, this is a chopstick. You can use any kind of stick or something because you're gonna have to poke a hole at the top of it. So when it bakes and it goes hard, you can then put a string through it to hang your ornament. So I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do to roll it out. I'm just gonna make sure there's flour on my table so it doesn't stick. And then put my dough down. And then I'll put some flour on my rolling pin as well. And then I'm just gonna roll this. You want it to be about this thick. It's a 1/4 inch. Not too thick. If it's too thick, then it won't bake properly. And if it's too thin, then it'll crack. So you want it not too thick, but not too thin. Time, or it might take an adult to help you because it gets sticky. If it's starting to get sticky, just add more flour to your rolling pin and then it should work. Okay, so now I've got it pretty flat. And now this is the surface you're going to use to start doing your stamps. So let's see, I'm gonna try, I really like these are really pretty. So I'm gonna stamp one down. I'll show you what this looks like after. So I'm gonna stamp it down. I did it 3 times and then I'm gonna use my heart to cut it out. Now let's see if I can pick this up to show you guys. So there you have your heart, and I put some stamping on it. And then all I'm gonna do is put a hole at the top so that when you bake it, I can still fit a string through, and it looks like that. And then I'm gonna put it on my cookie sheet, and then after I'm done making all these, I'll tell you what we're gonna do for baking, okay? So I'm done making all of my salto ornaments. They look like this. Oops. And I'm going to bake them in the oven. So you need an adult to help you with this. Bake them in the oven at 200 degrees for 30 minutes. Okay? And then they'll be hard and they'll be ready to paint. So I'm going to do that now. All right, so our salto ornaments are now done baking. And you can pick them up once they've cooled down. And then the hole is still there and they're nice and hard. I did have to put them in for about 40 minutes instead of 30 minutes because I noticed after 30 minutes they were still a little bit soft. So just get mom, after 30 minutes of baking, just get mom or dad to check them to see if they're still soft. If they're still soft, put them in for maybe 10 more minutes. But when they're done, they look like this. So the next thing you need is you just need some string. You can also get some paint and some scissors. If you don't want to paint them, you can just put a string through them and then they can be hung like that. And then you can save this forever. This will never go bad. Or if you do want to paint them, just get some paint it on, wait for it to dry, and then you can put the string in and hang them on as well. Okay? I hope you guys like this art. This was really fun to make. Bye guys.